It's always hard to not reach where you want to be in life, but I feel like there's a reason for it and there's a better plan. Sometimes you're forced to stop and sometimes you can't control it. And I feel like that's what happened with my music. It can end so fast. I had to find something else to kind of fill that gap. There's only a short amount of time to live this life. I want to make the most of it. My name is Kristy Lee Cook, and I'm a small business owner, singer, TV host, and a barrel racing trainer. I don't want to sit still. I want to do as many things as I can because you never know when it's going to be your last day, you know? I've always had a passion for horses, and that is my #1 passion. To be able to have control and to be able to kind of be one with it when you're riding. I love the feel of being on a horse's back and just going for a run. Ever since I stepped foot on a horse when I was 2 years old, it's been my favorite thing to do, especially when you're on a fast one. I've always just kind of been a little gypsy girl running around the world.
Kristy was a nomad. If she wanted to throw all of her horses into her trailer and drive halfway across the country, she would do it.
She travels a lot. That's something that Kristy definitely needs engraved in her life. Well, it's funny, when I met her, I know nothing about her singing career. And I was like, you what?
The nice thing about music is it takes you everywhere. And so I've lived in probably 23 or 24 cities in 7 states. I knew I was gonna settle down. I just didn't know it'd be in Amarillo, Texas.
She always talked about, I love Texas and I love the wind. And I was like, well, Amarillo sounds pretty perfect. It's windy all the time.
So I was born in Washington. I lived there for about 8 or 9 years, and then I moved down to Southern Oregon.
From what she's told me, I know she was always singing as a little kid, and then I think she had a record deal when she was like 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristy Lee Cook.
I've always loved singing and kind of started doing gigs around Oregon, and they'll tell you in the music industry that if you get a record deal, you usually don't get a second one, and you are going to be dang lucky to get a third. And I had 3. And so the second chance came around with American Idol. And I went and auditioned and actually didn't make it through even the first round. I had some vocal injuries and I developed some pretty bad nodules on my vocal cords.
I think it's like a strain, like a muscle, like it's just from overuse and builds up like a callus basically.
I put my horses up for sale and I was gonna go to their last one in Philadelphia, their last city. Whatever my decision was, and whoever sells is the one that's gonna sell and pay for my trip. So the one that I didn't want to sell, he's the one that sold.
I know that was a big deal for her. It was like one of her favorite horses. And I think after the show, she even like tried to go buy the horse back.
Made it through and finished 7th and moved to Nashville. I stopped the horses. I did everything I could to try to get another record deal.
She just straight up sang and wrote songs and tried to make it in the business.
I just kept going until one of those crossroads where you're like, okay, well, your voice is hurt again. Now you really don't have a choice. My voice just couldn't keep up with a lot of the grind. It was kind of out of my control. If it was up to me, I would have probably kept going.
Yeah, I'd say she's been through a lot, honestly. I mean, having to sell her really nice barrel horse to not being able to pursue her music dream anymore. I feel like that would be like really hard on somebody.
I have nodules and need surgery or need to stop talking. It's a little bit hard to swallow. I just don't like failing. I have to do whatever I can to try to be successful at it.
There's a lot of things that I know she wants to do, and I honestly believe that she can do them all.
When the music kind of stopped, I was already working barrel horses, so I already had something to fall back on. I like to train young horses and ones that have kind of failed, like one might be a cutting horse and wasn't good enough. I put them on the pattern and I season them.
Her knowledge base of what she's doing and what she's after is just well over my head. You know, she can look at a horse and figure out what needs to be done. She's good at what she does.
And I think there's so many intricacies of training a horse to be able to be really competitive at a high level, and there's not a lot of people, I think, that achieve that.
Like she can turn a horse from nothing into something, and it's awesome.
Sometimes people tell me like, you're not driven enough or you focus too much on your horses. That's really not the case. I've always felt that you can do more than one thing in life, and I feel like you can be successful in more than one thing.
American Idol actually launched her first hunting show. It was called Going Country.
It was actually really funny. I wore a hat that had a Browning logo on it, so I got to wear it in one of my interviews, and Browning was like, we need to see if that girl would be interested in having a show.
And then she started the new one, the Most Wanted list, and did that for a couple of years and then bought it outright.
I do tons of hunting and fishing and pretty much anything outdoors, any kind of adventure I'm always up for. And
regardless of what anybody says, you know, we're married, but that's her show, that's her baby. I'm just a part of it.
we do consume everything that we hunt, and I look forward to elk hunting every year because I know it's gonna fill our freezer.
You know, we like to go out and, you know, provide our own food to put on our own table. We want to live off the land, rely on the land, eat what we harvest.
I feel that my goal at the end of the day is try to better myself. I started a mobile coffee shop here in Amarillo, so that kind of replaced the singing. We're working towards the goal of like starting a headquarters and like a drive-through.
She works extremely hard, and especially, you know, being a mom and having 3 jobs.
I'm definitely progressive about everything that I do. Like nothing really slows me down, and it's always what's next. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know everything, because I don't. I wanna learn as much as I can, and I wanna know what works and what doesn't. I am really ambitious with everything that I do.
I honestly think her passion drives her, because she's got a passion for horses. Even the TV show, I know she loves to hunt, and so it's because she has a passion for it all. She's so driven to do it all.
Do you want me to start it? Just play the first chord. I really miss just performing and traveling. I absolutely love being on stage and putting on a show.
My daddy was a soldier in a foreign war.
I just really love to entertain people with music that makes them happy and they can have a good time.
He kept a picture of my mama right by his heart.
I feel like I did a lot and I don't really have any regrets.
I think Kristy's a role model to a lot of little girls especially that look up to a respectable woman in today's age.
Personally, I wouldn't want to live any other way. I feel like this kind of lifestyle, it teaches respect and it teaches responsibility and manners. You learn about animals and outdoors and all the things that were such a big part of our history. I feel like living off the land, doing things in the outdoors and getting outside, I think that's such a huge thing, especially for now and like the generations that are to come. And if you don't take care of it, if you don't appreciate and understand and respect any of that, then it's just all the beauty of the land is going to be gone.